So some of you may be wondering, what is CAD and what can CAD do for me and why would I care to learn it? For some of you already know computer-aided drafting, some of you may have modeled. So I'm going to go through, show you real simple, and I'll try to do a couple videos which you can use and watch and maybe show your parents, show your friends what exactly we do. This is just going to be the tip of the iceberg. We can do a lot more cool things, I promise you that. So if you've never seen Inventor, this is the Inventor system. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a 3D model with prints, and then I'm going to show you the AutoCAD version of it for one print. So first thing I'm going to do is just a cylinder. So what I'm going to do is create a 2D sketch. The sketch is nice. It'd be like drawing on a piece of paper. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to draw a circle. So I'm going to put it right at the center and just do, let's say, a 1 inch. Hit enter. So now I got my 1 inch. I'm just going to hit finish. So we got our circle as if we drew on a plane or a flat surface of a piece of paper. So we got this cool command called extrude. This is where it gets cool. So now I've just created a 3D object. So I'll hit OK, and now if I take it and spin it around, there is my cylinder. Nothing fancy, but still cool nonetheless. 2 steps, I have a cylinder made. Say I'm really interested in seeing what it look like, say brass. I can go ahead and make it brass. Let's make it a soft yellow. Now I got a material with a color on it. Looks pretty cool. Say I need to change it. Let's go with stainless steel. Has a nice shine to it. So right there's my part. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this real quick, and I'm just going to save it to, let me, Sophomore, and I'm just going to call this cylinder. So there's my cylinder. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is, cool model, looks good. But now I need to create a print. So I'm going to go ahead, and you create a print by telling it you want to put on a sheet of paper. So it's loading up my paper. Papers are nice because in CAD, in engineering, you have to create prints. And so with these prints, we're able to give them to people, whether it's if it's an architectural, if it's engineering of like electrical engineering, mechanical, people have to have prints to make things. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we need that part, and I need to be able to show somebody what that part looks like. So what we call this in CAD and engineering would be considered a multi-view drawing. So I'm telling it right there, that's how I want it to look. And I'm going to go ahead and I want my front view to be like that. I'll show my side view like that. I'm going to do my top view. And now I want to see how cool it looks in 3D. I'm going to go ahead and do create. Right there's my part. It's all done. Looks good. Really, this is all you need. Say you want to change it. Say you're like, I'd like some color to my print. It already does it for you. It shows the material. So go ahead and click OK. So now it looks even cooler. So say we're drawing this, I'm going to go real quick and do an annotate and throw a dimension on it. Let's say I want to know how 1 inch diameter. And say I want to know how long it is, 1 inch long. That looks cool. But shoot, somebody comes to you and says, you know what, I need that part a little longer. It's like, oh great, now I gotta go fix it. That's cool because all you have to do is you gotta just say, let's say I need to make it 1.5 inches long. I just updated it. Now it's 1.5 inches long. If I go to my print, it just updated for me. It does. It's incredibly awesome. So now the next thing is somebody's really trying to figure out what they need, and they need a hole to go through that. So let's go ahead and just put a hole here real quick. And let's, instead of a circle, we want actually a rectangle. So we're going to put a rectangle in it. And we can finish that sketch. Just drew it on a surface like you would be drawing on paper. We're just going to do an extrude. And instead of bringing the part out, we can tell we actually want to cut it. We can say we want that part to go all the way through. So now we click now all the way through. It puts it all the way through like that. And so we can click OK. Now we have a hole through our part. And shoot, they came back and said they wanted back to brass. So we got to make it brass again. So brass. soft yellow. There, now we got it. And then they say, well, we have some money. Let's make it out of gold. Now we have a nice gold look to it. So we have that, and now we got to make up our print. Look at that. It changes the material, put the hole through it. These are what you would consider hidden lines, where we can't see through the part, but we know back in there we got a little hole that we can't see, but these little dotted lines help us. So let's say I'm good with that. That's our part. And all you got to do is save this, and then you're able to print it off and give it to, say, an engineer or a machinist, anybody that would need a print of this. So that is our inventor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and do an AutoCAD drawing real quick from this. So I'll be back.